Look, so I just covered this on my show. Totally understandable legal maneuver. Of course, you're going to try to get your clients dismissed from a lawsuit. So we're seeing that from Leslie Sloan. We're seeing that from Ryan Reynolds. But when you read into his lawsuit, it's really fascinating to see how there's two courts that are playing out right now, and both of them have a lot of significance in their life. Lively, because she appeared at her Simple Favor 2 premiere, and people are noting that she seems increasingly uncomfortable and anxious, and maybe it really is.
Everybody's been glued to this lawsuit like it's the juiciest drama Hollywood served up. Every twist, every turn. It's like watching a scandalous soap opera live. People are losing their minds, picking sides, arguing over tiny details, guessing what shocking moment will drop next. So when Ryan Reynolds made his latest move, no one was shocked. His lawyers swooped in, blockbuster style, trying to yank him out of the case. Classic celebrity move. Let's not drag me into this mess. Honestly, who wouldn't? But the more layers peeled back, the clearer it became. This wasn't one battle. Oh no, there were two wars happening at once.
Accusations between Hollywood power couple Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and actor and director Justin Baldoni. The plot of this lawsuit is actually more interesting, I believe, than the film that they made.
Ryan thought he could just twirl out of the defamation mess with a simple dismissal request. His excuse? Just satire, you guys. Nothing serious. Totally protected under the law. And honestly, not the worst defense. Courts have protected satire before, especially when the jokes were over the top. If his lawyers convinced the judge his words were just silly jokes, he might actually escape. But easier said than done. The real question? Would the court buy it or see straight through it and keep this lawsuit on fire?
Ryan Reynolds would like to be excluded from Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. On March 18th, the Deadpool actor, who shares 4 kids with wife Blake Lively, filed a motion with a New York court asking to be dismissed from the $400 million civil extortion and defamation complaint the It Ends With Us director and co-star had submitted in response to Lively's sexual harassment and retaliation lawsuit against him.
And here's the kicker. Defamation was just one piece of this mess. Sitting next to it, a brutal extortion claim. And that's not something you just laugh off. Extortion is serious. It can crush lives. Even if Ryan slipped away from defamation, that ugly extortion charge would still be waiting for him. There was no easy exit. Everyone watching knew the real fight had barely begun.
The business interference claims lack merit, although it was kind of a weak. If the standard for dismissing a claim is that they are more likely to proceed or succeed on their merits, and that there's no triable issues of facts that a reasonable jury could find in favor of the other side.
At this point, it wasn't just legal arguments. It was a full-on public spectacle. Fans, haters, gossip blogs. Everyone had something to say. Some clung to Ryan's defense, insisting he was just joking. Others knew something darker was brewing beneath. No matter what happened, Ryan's squeaky clean image was already shattered. Every headline, every leak made it worse. And when people dug deeper into Ryan's no extortion defense, it crumbled. He kept saying, "But I didn't get money. Nice try." But that wasn't the point. Threatening to reveal harassment claims to control a movie? That's extortion, cash or not.
Has Blake Lively made allegations of sexual harassment against past employees or coworkers? And the answer is yes. She has made allegations about sexual harassment against a makeup artist, and it hasn't been confirmed on the set of what. However, if you look back and you look at the timeline, it seems to be on the set of Gossip Girl.
The whole thing was spiraling fast, and Ryan's defense wasn't fixing anything. Extortion isn't just about cash. It's about forcing someone to act under threat. Ryan's alleged scheme? Trying to shift movie power by wielding dirty accusations. And judges don't ignore that. Worse yet, discovery was coming, where emails, texts, secrets all come out. That's when things were going to get seriously ugly. Whispers were already flying about shady messages between Ryan and Hugh Jackman.
The information is such a plot twist. I am traveling right now, if you can't tell, but lucky for you guys, I never travel anywhere without my files. So let's go through the information together. I'm so excited, it's like Christmas morning. Okay, so the first major update is that Ryan Reynolds filed his motion to dismiss himself from the lawsuit, which is basically saying, Your Honor, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Please allow me to exit.
Because of all this, Ryan's friendship with Hugh Jackman was suddenly raising eyebrows everywhere. People started digging hard, wondering just how deep Hugh's involvement really was. Hugh's name popped up in the lawsuit, not as loudly, but still there. If discovery revealed even one shady message between them, game over. Ryan could kiss his just joking defense goodbye. He had been brushing off the situation, but any proof of calculated threats would destroy that story fast.
The husband's perspective, like, hey, obviously, like, this guy's gay, no hard feelings, a sight to be seen. He wants to be completely dismissed from the lawsuit. He wants out on the lawsuit.
And the rumors? They were already flying. Speculation was wildfire. The lawsuit was messy enough, but the thought that there might be more hidden dirt? Everyone was dying to know what those messages said. If they hinted Ryan coordinated the threats, forget distance. He'd be buried in the scandal. Meanwhile, Ryan's circle cracking apart. Friends dragged into depositions, lives disrupted, all while Ryan focused only on saving himself.
Today, her team, and respect to them for the speed at which her marketing team moves, dropped an entire article in the press announcing that her and Blake are taking a break. They're no longer friends because, shocking, Taylor Swift feels used. She always feels used. And she wants nothing to do with the Justin Baldoni situation.
Take Brandon Scanner. He desperately wanted Hollywood fame, cozying up to Hugh Jackman, even Ryan's mom chasing attention. But when things got serious, Brandon went silent. He could have pulled back, admitted, maybe I rushed to judgment. Instead, he dug in deeper, refused to admit anything, and it was a huge mistake. Others had wised up. Some early accusers backtracked once real facts surfaced. Even Blake Lively's brother-in-law rushed to condemn Baldoni, then publicly admitted he spoke too soon. Smart move. But Brandon, still stubborn, still refusing to admit fault. And
Lively's brother-in-law, Bart Johnson, is apologizing after previously slamming Justin Baldoni. Last month, Bart made multiple statements on social media defending Blake Lively. He said things like the cast unfollowed Justin Baldoni for a reason, he had a gross and disgusting but highly effective PR team, and in a tweet he even called Justin a fraud, saying he puts on the costume of a hero, man bun and all. Bart suggests that Justin Baldoni was always putting on the performance of being a nice guy. But in a new tweet, he is issuing an apology. Bart says, anytime I've said anything unkind about someone, I've regretted it. Fortunately, that's almost never and definitely not when I'm at my best. Regardless if it's true or not, if it's my opinion, even if I'm trying to speak truth or stand up for someone, it's never good. Even in times
his silence, it made him look so much worse. People started questioning his motives. Hollywood's about connections, and Brandon had likely gotten signed thanks to Blake's help. He wasn't about to risk that, truth be damned. Instead of stepping back with dignity, Brandon clung to his spot, terrified of closing doors before they opened. He could have said, I overreacted. Instead, he stayed silent and looked like a coward.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds initially leveraged their A-list celebrity connections to intimidate and challenge Justin Baldoni successfully. However, the narrative is shifting, and you won't believe which Hollywood elites are now distancing themselves from the power couple in support of Baldoni.
And that stubbornness? It blew up in his face. The longer he clung to denial, the clearer it became. This wasn't loyalty, it was fear. Fear of losing the golden ticket. Meanwhile, Ryan's own circle was collapsing. Friends furious, reputations trashed. This wasn't just a court fight anymore. It was a brutal loyalty test, and not everyone was going to survive it.
Justin Baldoni's legal team has now released footage from the movie It Ends With Us. This is raw, uncut footage that honestly does not make Blake look the best, because how she described this scene being shot in her complaint is very different from how it seems to be playing out. And a lot of people have a lot of things to say in reaction to this clip being released to the public. Okay,
When Baldoni countersued, when Brian Friedman dropped hundreds of brutal pages backing him up, or had Blake's fingerprints been there from day one? From the start, the accusations against Baldoni felt off. His public image, about growth, reflection, didn't match the picture Blake was trying to sell. Meanwhile, Blake, privileged upbringing, used to winning. When she couldn't control a situation, she created a fight. And this time, it was backfiring spectacularly. The way she twisted the story, absolutely shocking. Blake accused Baldoni of showing her explicit content. But when the truth came out, it was a birth video of his wife, a beautiful personal moment, spun into a weapon. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was calculated, a strategic attack to destroy Baldoni's image and crown herself a victim. And for a while, it almost worked, until the real facts exploded.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the...
Now, Blake can't escape the consequences. The trial's not until next March, but the real war is happening now. Every move, every filing, every leak. It's about controlling the story before the judge even steps in. Blake and Ryan's teams are in full-blown panic mode.
This is a big week in the Lively versus Baldoni case. Lots going on. Today we're going to talk about a proposed protective order that Blake Lively's team has brought forth. They filed. And
Ryan's lawyers are scrambling to seal evidence for attorney's eyes only, which basically screams, we're hiding something. If the messages were innocent, why fight so hard to bury them? The secrecy only fuels the fire. What are they so desperate to hide?
And one of our editors, Shane Reed, who, fun fact, he was my editor on Taylor's music video that I directed. And I was obsessed with him. And I was like, this guy is amazing. And he never edited a movie before. Just finished Deadpool and Wolverine. And he came on and helped us with this one.
Ryan and Blake built public images as funny, relatable, authentic stars. Now that perfect image is shattering. Their frantic efforts to control the narrative scream, there's something dark they're terrified will come out. And if they want redemption, a real, raw public apology is the only way out. No PR spin, no vague regrets, only the truth.
According to the timeline included in the new amended complaint from Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds wrote this statement that he demanded Justin and James post during the height of the Blake Lively backlash over the summer. And it's...
The sick irony? Ryan and Blake once tried forcing Baldoni to sign a fake apology, taking all the blame to protect them. They even drafted it for him. Now, they're the ones scrambling for a way out. And the only way forward? Owning up to the lies they created. Blake built this storm. Now, she's stuck in it. Ryan, Leslie Sloan, even the New York Times, all abandoning ship. At first, Ryan stood proudly beside her. Now, he's backing away fast, leaving Blake alone to deal with the wreckage. The unity is gone. The fallout, all hers. And underneath it all, the ugly truth about Blake and Ryan's marriage. Blake was always pushing Ryan to be more powerful, more dominant. But when things got ugly, Ryan crumbled. Old insecurities bubbled up, especially his obsession with Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett's directing a movie? Suddenly, Blake's trying to steal the project. Scarlett's filming with Channing Tatum? Ryan rushes to cast Channing too. It's messy, it's desperate, it's personal. In the end, this isn't just about one ugly lawsuit. It's about two celebrities who spent years pretending they were flawless. And now, everything's falling apart. Blake wanted so badly to be an A-lister like Taylor Swift or Reese Witherspoon. But without true talent or vision, she manufactured a scandal instead. And now, with allies gone and her image in ruins, Blake's standing on the edge of a trial that could expose everything.